Hey everyone, John here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be discussing 5 important factors to consider before enrolling in a finance degree program online. I know how difficult it can be trying to research, evaluate, and ultimately choose among all the various online universities out there. But luckily for you, I'm going to cut through all the noise and really delve into the core decision factors that truly matter. That way you know what to look for during your research process and help you make a final decision. So if you're ready, let's get to it. Alright, so before I jump into the key factors here, I should just mention up front that if at any point during this video you feel like you need some more information, make sure to check out the description below. I'll drop links in the text below the video screen over to a bunch of helpful sources, guides, and resources, so you'll definitely want to check that out. Also, if you find this video helpful in any way, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and drop us a quick comment below. That'd really be appreciated. Okay, so to kick off your research process, I actually think it's important to take some time up front and really think about what you want to do with your degree in finance. In other words, what is your end goal? Is it to work in investment banking, venture capital, private equity, become a financial analyst, an actuary, financial planner? The list goes on and on. The point is that there are a bunch of different career paths and that you should first narrow down what industry or niche that you'd like to specialize in. This will help you figure out which degree program best aligns with your personal goals. That way, as you complete your research, you can start to identify the different X factors among all these different universities and their finance degree programs. And by X factors, I'm referring to the specific features, offerings, and curriculum that align with your particular objectives. So think different concentration options. Does the university offer an exact concentration for the niche you're most interested in? Fintech, wealth management, real estate, etc. How many elective credits are included within degree track? That way you can really zero in on the subject areas that you're truly passionate about. Are there any specific finance or business-related certifications that are integrated into the degree program so you can further boost your resume and skills? Or maybe your end goal is to earn a master's degree after completing your bachelor's. In that case, you'll likely want to check out online universities that offer an accelerated bachelor's to master's option. Purdue Global, which is a popular national online university, is a perfect example of this. Essentially, by earning a minimum grade point average in select courses, you can gain entry into a streamlined version of Purdue Global's Master's in Finance program. That way you can complete both degrees in less time and at a lower cost than completing both separately. So the big takeaway here is that by taking time to consider your end goals and objectives ahead of time, it'll help you recognize which programs might be a good fit for you and your career path. Alright, so next up, you should become acquainted with admissions requirements and how the application process works. So, online universities generally fall into one of two groupings, either open enrollment or selective enrollment. Selective enrollment schools are the more traditional types of universities that probably come to mind when you think about college. Schools like NYU, Boston College, MIT, etc. These types of universities typically have stringent admission requirements. You'll likely need a minimum GPA, an excellent SAT or ACT score, and write a personal statement, among other requirements. So, if you have an outstanding academic background and you don't mind going above and beyond in order to get accepted into a top-ranked finance program, then you might want to focus your attention on selective enrollment schools. Now, just to be clear here, the acceptance rate at selective enrollment schools tend to be quite low. In other words, not many students get accepted, even those with sterling academic backgrounds. So therefore, you might want to also possibly consider open enrollment universities. These types of schools are typically a better fit for students who might not have the most outstanding academic background, or for people who've been in the workforce for an extended period of time and are now looking to go back to school, since the only admission requirement, depending on the program of course, is generally that students just have a high school diploma or GED. So if this type of school is a better fit with your academic history, I would suggest checking out Purdue Global. I'll be using them for example purposes throughout this video since they're a popular national online university. I'll go ahead and drop a link down in the description below over to Purdue Global so you can get a better feel for what the application and admissions process is like at an open enrollment school. Okay, now the third and quite possibly most significant factor to consider is tuition cost. So how much is an online bachelor's degree in finance ultimately going to cost you? And as you can probably imagine, there are a few layers to peel back here. So the first thing you should do is look at the university's tuition per credit rate and the number of credits required for graduation. Doing some quick math will help you get a ballpark idea of the cost to earn your degree. Typically, online universities will require either 120 or 180 credits to graduate. And in terms of tuition, it usually ranges somewhere from $250 to $550 per credit. Though of course this depends on the schools you're considering, as well as other factors like where you live, whether you're an international student, a member of the military, etc. And on top of the basic tuition costs, online universities typically charge other fees and assessments as well that you'll definitely want to take time to consider. Expenses like technology fees, transcript fees, learning assessments, graduation fees, etc. Sometimes these extra costs can really add up, so it's worth looking into prior to enrolling. Now, another factor to keep in mind here as you think through the cost aspect are transfer credits. This can really help reduce the overall cost to earn your degree. And I'm not just talking about college credits you already have from a previous institution. A lot of online universities, Purdue University Global being one of them, allow students to earn college credits in a multitude of different ways. You can pass certain standardized exams and earn credits. You can take free open learning courses. If you have a professional certificate or military training, that can count towards a degree. In other words, it's not all about classes you've already completed in the past. You very well might be able to eliminate several credits from your degree track simply based on your work experience or previous training, so definitely make sure to look for these types of opportunities as you do your research. All right, so last up here, let's talk about how these degree programs are structured. But before I hit you with that, I should mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a free $500 scholarship to one lucky subscriber, just as a way of saying thank you and to help ease the financial burden of higher education. It's super simple to enter. I'll drop all the details down below in the description, but just know it takes like 10 seconds to enter, and hey, you never know, you could win $500 to help pay for your finance degree. Okay, so back to how these degree programs are structured, or in other words, how these universities organize their curriculum and schedule. So most online degree programs fall into one of three categories: condensed accelerated terms, traditional terms, and self-paced. So in that first bucket of condensed accelerated terms, these are universities with 4 to 6 week terms in which students take just one course at a time or possibly 2 courses max. The pace of each course is accelerated, but the nice thing is that you only have to focus on one class at a time. You don't have to juggle and complete homework and take exams for 3 or 4 courses at the same time. So if you're the type of student who has trouble multitasking or staying organized, then this type of degree program might be a good fit for you, assuming of course that you have the free time for an accelerated schedule. Now, the second type of format is the more traditional type of academic calendar that you're probably familiar with. I'm talking 2 to 5 classes per term that last anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks. This is sometimes called the quarter or semester system. And I'd say the bulk of online universities fall into this group. Purdue Global, for example, which I've mentioned several times already, follows this format. They offer 10-week terms in which each program requires a weekly commitment of around 15 to 18 hours on average. Again, the link for Purdue Global will be down below in the description. They have some helpful information on their website regarding how their courses and terms are structured, so you can get a better feel for this type of traditional type of program format. Okay, so last up here, there are self-paced learning formats. Basically, with these types of degree programs, you're in control and take courses at your own speed. So if you want to complete multiple courses at a time and sprint through the degree program as quickly as possible, you can, in as little as 15 to 18 months in some cases. Or if you have other responsibilities like being a parent or you have a part-time or full-time job, then you can slow down the pace and study when you have free time. So bottom line, if you have a super busy schedule, this type of self-paced program might be ideal. And that about does it for this video. I know making a decision about something as important as your education can be quite nerve-wracking, so I hope this was some helpful advice around online universities and gives you some solid tips for finding a finance degree program that fits your specific objectives, budget, and interest. Again, if you want to learn more about online finance degree programs, be sure to check out the description below. I'll have a bunch of helpful information down there for you, including guides and resources related to scholarships and financial aid for you to check out. Also, if you're interested in another degree area outside of finance, be sure to check out the rest of the videos on our YouTube channel. We've got a bunch of helpful content related to higher education. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one.